back to Voidheart Studios, and if you couldn't tell from my voice, I am currently sick, so I may not be as overly emotive this video as I would be normally, but I'm still going to try to get through it because I love making videos for you guys. And this is definitely a video that I would rather record now. And, yeah. So today's review is going to be Rival sidearms. Any sort of spring-powered, internal magazine, low-capacity Rival pistol. Blasters that will be excluded from this video are the Vision, because 1, I don't have a Vision, and 2, the Vision is way too big. 2, the Roundhouse, because I don't have a Roundhouse. The Roundhouse is way too big, and it has 15 rounds, which is more adequate for a primary. And plus its size, it's like this big, I think. It's big. It's probably, yeah, whatever. It's really big. And third is the Heracles, because I don't have it. I never did get the Heracles. When the Camo series was out, I got the Apollo, and that was it. But I do have 4 of them, 2 from Hasbro, 1 from Dart Zone, and 1 from Zuru. And I'm going to be reviewing them. So, or comparing them, because this is a possibly unfair comparison. So yeah, starting off, we have the Nerf Rival Chronos. The Chronos was released in 2018 as part of the Rival Phantom Core line, and yeah. It is a 5-shot pistol, and it's a 5-shot spring-powered slide prime pistol. Yeah, to load it, you open up this door, you pull back, and then you insert your balls into the hole, close the lid, slam it shut, and then, yeah. It doesn't have slam fire, but none of these blasters do, and it has 2 little bits of Rival tack rail. Up next is the Nerf Rival Edge Series Mercury. The Mercury was released in 2019 as part of the Edge series and is essentially a side prime Chronos. To load it, you place the balls in this little internal magazine. It also has a 5-round capacity, but the cool thing is it has a little window so you can actually see how many balls you have left. And also, you can take out the priming handle and reinstall it on the other side. It threads off, and it is fully ambidextrous. So if you are right-handed, you would want it on the left side. If you are left-handed, you would want it on the right side, because the overall profile of the blaster is too big for you to really grab the bolt handle with your main hand. Trust me, I tried. And, yeah. Cool thing about the Edge series was, well, they're green, and they were meant for target shooting. Which, funny enough, it's like, they make the original N-Strike blasters, of course, you know, were all meant for target shooting, and then they made the Dart Tag line as a competitive sort of thing. And then when they made their competitive line in Rival, they made a side series for target shooting. And they had a main primary distinction of, well, not only being green, but also being named after Roman gods rather than Greek gods. Because a lot of the original Rival blasters were named after Greek gods, like the Apollo, Zeus, Hades, almost said Nemesis, but no, that's not. Helios. But no, these were named after Roman gods. There was the Mercury, the Jupiter, and the Saturn. which I've already done a video on the Jupiter, actually. But yeah, sorry for going on a bit of a long-winded rant. Next up, we have the Dart Zone Sentry. The Sentry was released in 2020? Question mark? I think it was 2020, as part of the Adventure Force Tactical Strike series. Now you may know Adventure Force Tactical Strike now as their Pro line, but before Pro was a thing, it was their rival line. It was the sort of sister series to Dart Zone Ballistics Ops, which was the non-Adventure Force rival line, because Adventure Force stuff was Walmart exclusive. But there were only a few blasters they released under Ballistics Ops. Most of them were Tactical Strike. This one, to load, you open up this front piece, and then you push your balls in like so. What's really cool is, I think I've got it fully loaded up. I did not load this. I must not have. This is mine. Weird. Weird. I think a Cheez-It got stuck in the priming block of my Sentry. What the hell? Anyways. An interesting feature of the Sentry is that because you loaded them in this little track here, you could actually load 2 rounds at once. So very easy to speed load, and it allowed you to load independently of priming, which is a nice feature compared to the Hasbro ones. And of course, top slide, yeah. And rather than having a traditional lever or push-through safety, this blaster's trigger lock comes in the form of this secondary trigger, which you have to hold down to be able to pull the main trigger. It's weird, something to get used to, but not the worst thing in the world. If anything, you just do a quick safety delete. Shouldn't be that hard to open it up. And finally, all that glitters is balls. We have the X-Shot Chaos Meteor. The Meteor was released also in 2020, I think, as part of the X-Shot Chaos line. X-Shot Chaos was, of course, Zuru's take on Rival, and it's, you know, also safety's on. Slide prime, stinger, pistol. The cool thing about it, though, is this little lever here controls the follower. You lock it down here, and you can actually load through the bottom. Like so. And then you pop that. Really cool. Really, really cool how that works. And, oh yeah, these two actually have different capacities. The Kronos and the Mercury have 5-round capacities, strictly 5-round capacities, while these blasters actually have a 6+1 round capacity, that being 6 in the tube, 1 in the chamber, because they can be loaded independently of priming. You could theoretically, with this one, load up the tube, prime it to chamber a round. I've still got gunk in there. Oh no. That's not Cheez-It. That must be gunk from something else. Weird. You'd think with all this time that they coexist, you'd think at some point I would have accidentally gummed up a blaster with Cheez-It dust, but must be something that happened with the previous owner of this blaster, because this was a Goodwill find. The Kronos and the Mercury were Goodwill finds. I actually bought this at Ross, so it was brand new out of the package. But yeah. Anyways, you could just load this all up, prime it, and then load a final ball to have a 7-round capacity there. And with this one, you could just open the breech. Let me see, do I have 7 balls here? I do. Then just load 1 ball, close the breech, and then load the rest of your balls. And then there, you have a 7-round capacity. Now with this one, if you're going to load 6 or 7, and you do those methods, you do need to push it a little bit just to let that follower come back behind it, because it is a bit of a tight fit in this compact form factor. But yeah, you can tell I really like this one, don't you? But yeah. Anyways, I think that's pretty much all the objective information I have on these guys. Let's go do a firing comparison. Alright, we are outside, and we've got our rival pistols, and I'm going to be shooting at my Dart Zone soft target, which is about close to a man-sized target as I can get, at a range of about 20 feet, which is going to be your typical engagement distance with a rival pistol, since they're a bit higher FPS than an elite pistol, but lower FPS than like the pro pistols, where the engagement distance was around 30 feet. So yeah, I'm going to start here, and I've got them all loaded up with AccuRival, so because that's what you should use. To start off with the Kronos. Count the table as a hit, especially where I hit it. Anyways. Alright, moving over to the Mercury. There we go. Hit. Pocket. Hit. Pocket. Hit. Alright. Now for our third blaster, the Sentry. Again, 6 AccuRival. And, yeah. See if we get any more of that gunk coming out of it. Gonna just see what that one did in the. Look back at the footage. That is a low flying plane. Anyways, back to our regularly scheduled program. That went low. That's a miss. And should be our last shot. Oh, we're out. Alright. Now, for our final blaster, we have the Meteor. Oh. Safety's on. I hit it. Hit. Alright, that's going to be it. Yeah, all of them fired just about as I expected. The Sentry's having a few issues. I don't know if that's byproduct of Goodwill Blaster or not, but yeah. Anyways, I'm going to bring these back inside before it gets dark, and we'll talk about the more subjective stuff. I am back inside. Let's talk about these pistols. Starting off, I couldn't get any chronograph results because the inner diameter of my chronograph hole, I don't know. Yeah, we'll just go with that. The inner diameter of my chronograph hole is just a scotch wider than the outer diameter of a rival round. So, yeah, they were bumping into the sides and just getting really inconsistent readings, and I'm just tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I just wanted to get on with this. But from other reviews that I've watched, I can tell you that they're all hitting about high 80s, low 90s, with the exception of the Sentry that hits just a bit lower. But let's go over the main, I guess, the main talking points about each blaster. Starting off with the Chronos. The Chronos is probably just the most aesthetic of all of them. Like, it looks like a futuristic pistol. Like, it looks like some weapon like you'd see like a space cop using or something. It's pretty much the de facto rival sidearm, and it has the most modification potential out of all of these. Chronos mods are everywhere compared to the rest of these goons. Anyways, and yeah, aside from having a non-ambidextrous safety, and the one issue with the Chronos is this loading door. This loading door gives reloading an extra step, as you have to open it before you can reload, and if you want to be able to actually have a sight picture, close it after reloading. Now, there is no lock to keep you from firing when it's open, so you could just cut it off or rip it off or something like that, and you lose that entire thing. Hell, there's even a mod you can get that's just a door with a hole in it to allow you to just load through it, and also allows it to accept some community-designed speed loaders. But yeah, other than that, reload is a little bit cumbersome, but it's just a nicely designed blaster, kind of the de facto. It's not really much. I mean, sight picture is mid at best, but you're not going to be using sights on your sidearm. Hell, most of your gameplay with your sidearm is going to be, you know, I short-stroked it. But yeah, most of your sidearm play is just going to be panic firing from the hip, because, you know, that's kind of what it is. It's, oh no, my primary is down, time to dump, as like a last-ditch effort to save my life. But other than that, it's pretty good. Time for the Mercury. The Mercury, yeah, that's not gonna work. It's small, it's easy to miss, you gotta really grab it to pull it. And yeah, other than that, I do love the grip on this blaster. It's got a big, chunky grip, and it's just aesthetically nice. Like, it's designed after, like, sport shooting pistols, which is why it has the side prime, because a lot of sport shooting pistols, like Real Steel, have, like, a little side handle that you can grab that's connected to the slide. Also, it has more rail space, which is nice if you put optics on your sidearm. And the sight picture, even with irons, is pretty good. I also like the clear window that you can use to see your capacity, which is nice for longer games where you would be using this more often, and you would need to be able to scavenge and reload. And that's really all I have to say about the Mercury. Now, for the Sentry. Something's rattling around in there that I don't know if it was before, and I don't know what that gunk was that came flying out of it, but it was something. It wasn't Cheeto, or Cheez-It, I can tell you that one, but it sure was weird. I don't know if that was like a product of it being a Goodwill blaster or not. Who knows? And also it does hit slightly softer FPS-wise, so you may have a slight range deficit. Also, loading independent of priming is both a boon and a curse. That means, if you're primed, you can load just without having to fire the blaster or anything. And, but I mean, if you're not primed, it just creates an extra step, like with the Chronos of you having to prime it. Well, no, it doesn't create an extra step, because with the Chronos and the Mercury, you have to pull the thing back, load, and then close it. So, really, it's more of a boon than it is a curse. But, yeah, the awkward safety is a bit of a downside, but that can also be easily removed. It's been done to the Deuce, it's been done to the Liberator, which is this blaster's big shotgun profile brother, and yeah. The only thing is it has the Dart Zone proprietary rail, not the Rival, and of course it doesn't have Picatinny. I don't like that noise. I might be opening this blaster up at some point, because I need to figure out what that noise is that it's making. Because that is concerning now. But yeah. Sentry, overall, be fine. And finally, the Meteor is the only one to have an independent jam door. Why? I don't know, and quite frankly, couldn't be bothered to care. Other than that, it just, honestly, this one is my favorite aesthetic. It looks sleek, it looks futuristic, it looks cool. The only issue I have with it is this is the magazine, so there's not really a good way to hold it two-handed without just like putting your hand at the front of the magazine, and even that just feels kind of weird on a pistol configuration. But I mean, I one-hand my secondaries all the time. Sight picture, probably the best though. I would repaint your sights. The gold metallic on the Royale Edition is just a lot. Now that problem isn't shared by any of the other ones, like if you get the blue one or the white one or the phase one or the new one they've come out with where it's clear with blue internals, or they're coming out with this year. But yeah, I definitely recommend getting, or not definitely recommend yet. This also being a manual step is a bit not really great, but it's kind of a cool way to keep the blaster compact, being able to load through the follower. And also, the position of this little orange notch from the follower also is a good indicator of your capacity. Though I will say having a push-through safety makes it easy to accidentally engage it if you're a lefty. Or if you're a righty, it makes it easier to accidentally engage it because your finger is going to be most likely resting up here if you're practicing proper trigger discipline. But yeah. Again, all of these could do with a proper safety delete, so yeah. It also feels the most comfortable because it's got that great combination of a big grip, that's not overly chunky. It's also not overly small. And the Knuckle Duster Guard is just a really nice profile. I don't know what this switch does. Wait, is it just like, is it like a... No, it's this switch is the jam override lock. I don't know what this switch does down here. It's like it was meant to have speed loaders or something, and yet they never released them. That's weird. It's really, really, really weird. This blaster's weird, but it's cool. And it's probably going to be the cheapest one unless you just go to Goodwill. Anyways, let's go down to my recommendations. Who are the winners? And I said winners plural because I'm going to say it's both the Chronos and the Meteor. The Chronos, it just has more mod potential because all of its issues have a mod kit to fix them. So, yeah, the door, you can get a loading door deleter. You just rip the loading door off. I've got a funky little thing called an X-Acto knife that's pretty good at cutting through plastic. And it's white, so it paints up nice. Now you don't have to worry about painting if you get a Mercury. Mercury? No. Meteor. I knew I was going to get those two confused. But the Meteor, it comes with stickers for decorating it, which I think is just adorable. Yeah, the Meteor, again, it has the extra ammo capacity of 6+1 rather than strictly 5, or I guess 4+1. But, yeah, aside from the magazine being in a weird place, I would honestly deem for specifically if you're not planning on modifying at all, and you're planning on, like, buying these and then immediately going to a war, I would highly recommend the Meteor. Because it doesn't have as high a chance of issues as the Sentry, because I don't know even what's going on with the Sentry. And also the Sentry's prime just feels a little stiff. Not heavy, but stiff. Like it needs lube. And again, I don't know what's going on with mine, so I'm going to look into it at some point. Quite literally, I'm going to open up the blaster. And see what I can do with it. And the Mercury, you couldn't even holster it really with the stupid side prime handle. I think T-pull kits have been made, so you can essentially make it direct prime with like little wraparounds that go to the back, but if you're not willing to do any modifications and you're just gonna buy and then play, Meteor. If you are planning on making some hefty modifications, take the Chronos all the way. Because like I said, you can get loading door deletes, you can get speed loaders, there are a plethora of spring upgrades for this thing. There are a plethora of cosmetic upgrades for this thing. I don't know if blaster wraps are still around, but there was a blaster wraps decal set made for the Chronos. So yeah, there's a lot of options when it comes to modifications. But even if you are going just out of the box stock, the Chronos would definitely be your pick. Should definitely be your pick if you can't find a Meteor. Or if you just can't house a Meteor, then I would take a Chronos. Anyways, these are your winners for today. If you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, want to tell me that I'm a massive nerd, put them down in the comments below, and comment your favorite rival pistol, because, I mean, who knows? Your EDC could be the rival Mercury, and you might be terribly offended because I said it's probably the worst option out of all of these. But, yeah, that'll be it for the video, and I will see you all in the next one, hopefully when I'm less sick. Goodbye.